Okay, tá fáilte romh arás. So, welcome back. I was held up a little bit doing work on my car, replacing a seized caliper. So that caliper wasn't going back in. The motor was put into service mode. It's meant to drag the piston back in the whole way like that one. So I noticed the discs were getting hard, so I replaced discs, pads, and then brake backing plates were rusty as well, so off came with the wheel hub, so I replaced them as well. So I was at that, but I want to get back to stuff that I'm interested in, because to be honest with you, working on modern cars to me is it only ends up causing frustration a lot of times. So I want to go through these distributors. There should be about 8 distributors in there for the Ferguson 20 petrol TVO and the Massey Ferguson 35 petrol TVO. They're Lucas D3A4 distributors. They're in various states of repair. Some of them have the condenser on the outside, which is strange. I suppose they are meant to be on the inside from factory. So what we'll do first is we'll take off the condensers so we can get a look in at these plates. I'm going to show you some of the part numbers here for the Ferguson 20s and 35s and all of them, and even the Continental. So the TE20 is a Continental engine. They were the first engines to go into the Ferguson 20. I think Harry Ferguson was struggling to get engines from the Standard Motor Company that were fitted later, so he went with the Continental Z120 engine. Any distributor, Lucas ones with the service number, they call them, it's like a part number, of 484, they were the early ones for the Continental engine. So it'd be nice to see if any of these have that. What's that dripping over there? Bloody caliper. Anyway, it would happen. But yeah, so the first ones were the Continental engine. So I haven't looked at any of these part numbers, to be honest with you. It's only in the last couple of weeks I've been trying to work out which distributor was for which model. So if there's one of them in there, it's nice. Someone will be looking for that, I'd imagine, if they want to be very fussy about original parts. Then the TEA or TED20, the most common, I suppose, of the Ferguson 20s standard engine will be a 40132, and that was up to engine number such and such, and afterwards then they fitted this 40146 after the engine number. The FE35, the grey gold like my own, 40243 F, I think anything from E or F had different advance weights in them. So for certain revs, the weights would, centrifugal force and all that would open out, and it would change the timing. And then for the lamp oil engine, it was 40229 was the service number, and the Massey Ferguson 35 then seems to be the same, V60, version 60, version 17157. So we'll go over and have a look at my own one here. I think the one that was fitted to this seems to be for a lamp oil engine, not a vaporizing oil engine. The difference being a lamp oil was even lower octane, but that's coming in as a 40298E, and the date, if you look here, is strangely enough is 6/53 version 151, so the 6th of 1953. Now I was looking at another grey gold at a show, and it had the same service number, except mine's E, it had A. So if I think of it, I'll actually put that picture in the video just to show you. So that's strange. So that's not tying in with what's in what I've written down here. Now what I've written down here is based on a Lucas manual for the FE35. I've also, after getting advice from a fairly knowledgeable Ferguson enthusiast, he said get this book. Covers all the 35s, petrol, TVO, 4-cylinder diesel, 3-cylinder diesel. Good little book, all loads of pictures showing you how to do everything, maintenance, engines, brakes and all that. But anyway, that's roughly what you're looking at there. If anyone wants to pause the screen, take a screenshot, they should be accurate. So with that in mind, what we'll do here with this, I've got a bit of a box here that I'm just going to throw in the likes of these condensers, because I don't like them fitted on the outside anyway. I don't think they should be fitted on the outside. On the Ferguson, they all should be inside. It's nice to have some spares of these nuts as well, especially considering they're usually always brass. And some of the insulators and stuff in there, they're on it all surely sued of Vehigut. They're just handy little things, because without them then there's always a chance that you'll end up with earthing and stuff like that. And it's nice then to get some spare brass. That's fairly tight fit on that. Might take him off there. It's nice to have some spare brass, even washers, like, you know, keep it all. That's a square one there, so this side here should be 7/16. It's Imperial. Some of these are lovely as well, because mine is a bit of a gutter bolt in it, so I'll be able to take a nice original one of these and be able to fit what should be on it. It's just, again, one of them things that makes it a little bit more complete and original, if you want to be fussy about that kind of thing. May as well piece together all these. Fairly stiff now at the same time. So I don't know. It's strange when you see the condensers on the outside. There's plenty of room for them on the inside. Unless these were fitted to God knows what type of an engine, I don't know. I think even the cars with the standard motor engine they're fitting, the Vanguard cars had these on the inside. Look, you know, the condensers. You have them in under the cap then, and no moisture getting to them and stuff. Less moisture getting to them. Okay, so that's one there. There's ways of testing these as well, mind you. That looks, is it loose? No, it's not, no. It nearly looks like this was soldered onto, this wire was soldered onto it. I'll get a better look at it now in a minute. It has to really screw off. But I like to have a few of these spare anyway. Okay. So we've no washer on that, but we'll put it back on. It's a nice original style one. Seems to be Imperial as well. That's always a good sign. Back on our nice brass washers there and our nut. Okay, so look at this. Yeah, so we'll just bring it over here to the voltmeter for the sport. But I think I managed to test a few of these. I might actually put it in the vise. Okay, so we'll have a look here at this. Only these usable. That's broken off there, so it's no good. But some of these acorns can be handy, especially if you can get the one in the middle, because it's longer, I think. All right, in saying, or the one for the coil is longer, yeah. So there's two good ones. So we'll just have a little look. See, it's round. We can salvage out with this distributor cap. It's nice having those original ones. So that one's no good. It's broken, so that has to go. That's no bother. We have a clip here each side, and the split pin is going through it. We have the casting, and we have stud on that. We have our advance and retard plate there as well. It's a little bit dirty. You clean them down, you should see little lines on them. showing it how you can retard it. You have the original style rotor. You can't get them anymore. And it seems to be fairly worn. Seems to be fairly bloody worn there anyway. It's just nice to see. Is it actually Lucas? Is there any make on it? It's original style is it anyway. So interesting. We have the nice to have these. Sometimes it's hard to get them. Should be a little bit cloth in there. It's gone out with this one. It helps stop the moisture going down. We do have a set of pints, and they're opening and closing. They're not Lucas. There's a name on them. Oh, they are Lucas, yeah. We have 1, 2, 3. We've got our 3 screws in the pints plate there. It's handy. That's where your condenser should go in there by rights. But this one, because of the bracket there, usually you take out that and you put them in there. That wouldn't fit in there, so I can understand why they actually fitted that on the outside. Okay, so that's not too bad. How do we feel on bearings? A bit of wear on it, alright. Not too much, but there's wear on it. So that would definitely be a candidate for a bearing. So let's see what year this is. See what part number it is. See if it's any good. See if it's right. So it is try and see now if we can get this to focus a little bit better for us. So it's a D3A4, okay. And then the part number is a 40146D, 40146D, and that is the one that was fitted to the later Ferguson 20, 40146, and D is the revision or whatever, the A, B, C, D, whatever it is. So, and it's a V1139, and the date on it is 650, so 1950, so June 1950. So that's originally fitted to a 6 volt, so a 6 volt. Okay, because I think the 12 volt didn't come out until later. So that's one. Now here is another one here with a very big condenser on it. It's a monster of condenser. So we'll take him off as well. It's a smaller nut on that, or maybe it's not. It looks smaller. Yeah, definitely smaller than what's on a lot of them. Okay. So we bit of the wire that would have fed in. So we have a nice anti-slip washer here. They're handy. Okay, the wire then for the condenser. So we'll take off that scrap of wire. We'll put back on our some kind of a scum around it. It's like old grease or something, or maybe they didn't have an insulator and they put in some sort of a gunge into it. It's like bitumen or something. So that would definitely need to be stripped to be any good. The next thing we'll do is we pull this. Seems to be some sort of a strange thing on that. So there's a square head there, and then a bit of a tit on that there. I don't know how you'd get a spanner onto that, or a socket onto it. You get a spanner onto it, flathead around. What is that? Lock tab. I've never seen one of them on it before, now I can tell you. I might get a 12mm just because it's very tight with the 7/16s. That is an interesting looking condenser now, I have to say. Ornate enough with the ribs in it. the lines on it there. Try and get a name on him. He looks like a fair lump of a thing anyway. Right, let's loosen her up there. So I think you can still get the bearings for these, but the bushing that's down here and them, I think you have to literally get one made for it if it's bad. So I do plan on trying to strip a few of these down and learn how you go about it, just for the fun of it. And then I'd like to do up one for my own gold belly as a spare, and maybe then fit electronic ignition into another one. The worst one we have here, we'll say, for original parts, so that I can experiment with electronic ignition, just to have it on the shelf, have it looking original. You can buy full new electronic ignition distributors, but I think they just look a little bit too naff. They look a little bit too new and shiny, and they don't look right. You can fit all the workings of them into the old distributors, and I think that looks a little bit better. So at least that way, at a glance, it all looks okay. Just I think there's 2 wires coming out from the distributor to the coil, whereas this is only one. I can't turn the nut on this, whatever way it is. There we go. Now that is a fair lump of a condenser, that is. My God. I'd say there must be a bit of age to that. It nearly looks like it's oil filled with a little dot. It's not a solder on it there to keep the oil in it, if that makes sense. It's like the old, I have a very old coil over there, 6-volt coil, and it has a dot. They filled the oil and put a dot of solder over it. Be interesting to see is there a name on it. Probably have to clean back that plastic up there. There's a lot of dirty old grease and oil on it. Isn't that interesting? Brass as well, lovely. And just brass. Nice little length of wire, that actually. Tidy. Yeah. That's definitely something I'd like to clean back and see is there anything written on it. It's probably on the plastic if it's anywhere, yeah. I might just give him a scrape back and see. Yeah. Okay, so to Shidlantagum, cleaned up a little bit there. It's a very ornate little condenser. It's the most ornate I've ever seen anyway. It seems to be nearly like it's brass coated something. You can see where they saw, is it right? They would have sealed it in there. So it's a fairly primitive sort of a jobby, like. And I don't know, was it oil cooled or something, like maybe there's oil in it, and filled it and then put a dot. So I'm just going to get another coil here and show you here, an old coil that has the same thing done. I don't know if there's such a thing as capacitors or condensers being filled with oil, but this coil was filled in there. This is a 6-volt one, or 6-volt. So it was filled upside down, and it's not a solder. But it was also like that condenser, it was like closed over there like a tin of beans. So that was an old coil. It seems to be working as well, because when you put your voltmeter across, test the see there, so you have 1.6 or so ohms. So it's definitely working. 1.6 is about right, because I think the 12-volt ones are about 3, like 3.2, 3.3, and the secondary then I think probably, I don't know, do you have to go up a little bit there on power? Yeah, so there you go there. So it's working, but that's besides the point. wanted to show more the fact that it seems to be the oil was filled and it's not a solder put on the end of it. So that's, in my boots, is interesting. I'm interested in all these old electrical engine parts. So we can put that back in. That's a slightly different clamp bolt there because it has the lock tab on it there. A little bit strange now. That's a little bit awkward. Doesn't really want to go on. And there's a lock tab on that as well. So whenever this came off, was very fussy about timing. You had to go bend the back tabs. So that's strange. Now I'm going to try and get a name on this. I've cleaned it up. Some lovely the way it's made, the way they did the spirals on that. It's really nice. I was going to have a look under here and see if I can see out in here. Alpha is what's written on it. I don't know, can you see that there? Alpha, ALFA. So we'll definitely have to look at that. And then it says, Jesus Christ, B G something SG dot S dot G dot D dot G. So I'll have to look that up. Came with a lovely brass washer and a lovely brass nut. So that's something I'm definitely going to be interested in doing a little bit more digging on to see what is off and see how old it is. But what we will do is we'll throw in a vise here. Let's do a quick little test on it and see if we can get any form of a reading off it. Regardless, that won't be going back in any box and hidden in a drawer. That's going to be kept on show. I'll stand the other side then and you'll be able to see that. I'll throw a little bit of power into it first and then see does it just hold it. So it should initially go up and then come down. So it should kind of shoot up a little bit sometimes. So you see it went to 12, 13, and then slowly back down. So that does seem to tell me it's working. Let's see if there's a resistance in it. No, so that. Yeah, so look, that's fairly promising anyway. Alpha. I don't know if it's anything to do with Alfa Romeo now or not. Definitely is Alpha, yeah. Okay. So that's cool. So now we've got 2 spare condensers, right? Not that there's going to be any use in these because that second one there is way too long to go in there. But, and we have a nice little bit of period correct brass connected wire. So like that. And we said that this is, did we check this? We didn't check the service number as they call it rather than the part number, so we'll give him a check. Fairly clear. Give it a quick wipe, take off all the grease and oil on this. Whatever engine this was in, it was fairly greasy. Now I'll give it a quick wipe. It's nice and clear anyway. 40146D, so the same as the other one. So we're talking about this one here for the TEA, TED, and the year is, by Jesus, it's in the 40s anyway. I'll clean it back a bit more and see if we can get that. I can see a 4 anyway. Now I'm going to put it under the light because I know it's a 46 or 48. 48. Pity if it was 46, it'd be a very valuable distributor, but then again it would have to be this number. So damn it, that would have been nice now to have that 48. Oh, this is the one we were saying, there's this kind of crap on. I don't know, is that just all grease or is it their attempt at making an insulator? that I couldn't tell you. It looks like kind of a grease. It's gone very hard. Is the insulator in there? Could have been a way of trying to stop that, the bolt there, from touching the side, hurting. Yeah. Don't know, doesn't look like there's an insulator in there, so this is their attempt at putting some sort of gunge in there to, it's like bitumen or something. Okay, there's this grease there, that's this grease. So. Okay, but it does seem to have on the casting grey with red rust primer underneath it, so that does kind of tie into Ferguson. So how is the distributor cap looking? So we've got some different acorns here in it, and more of the original style ones. It's brass. Remove to oil should be written on there. So could be brass in there as well. 408369 part number. It's Lucas anyway, but unfortunately there's only notice now there's a piece of gub went to us. Okay, so that's Lucas anyway. There's a spare carbon brush in there. That's no harm. It is usable. You could fill that up, I suppose, if you're good with epoxy resin or something, and put a bit of something in there if you're really fussed, but no, there's no point. We have a few spare acorns out of it. Okay, this looks nice. Shined up and all from the, I think that's an original style rotor. Again, very worn. Very, very worn on a Chata. Isn't that interesting? What was causing? Is that just sheer and utter wear? I'll just give this a quick clean here and see, can we get a Lucas name or any sort of a make on it, or maybe the Lucas ones didn't have, they usually would put their name on it. It's interesting now. Regardless, I like them, and to be honest with you, they're that nice. Again, I won't be putting them into a box. I'll be putting them onto the shelf somewhere, like my my condenser, but for now we will put it in the box. Let's see if we can get this off. Oh, it's turning anyway. So we have now set of use. We do have the two clips. We do have the split pins. They're in great nick. There's a lot of grease on this, so it definitely did save it. Seems to be very loose though, fairly well worn, I'd say. Yeah, I must look up that number then as well. Make sure it's a Ferguson or Matthew Ferguson number. Okay. Okay, was that a Lucas? Yeah, Lucas England, yeah. So we've got some usable parts in there, like that little insulating plastic lad there is important because it has a little leg sticking out. But no, they didn't have the rubber around it to filter with that kind of grease, so that's okay. And like the other one, they didn't have the condenser in there, it had on the outside. Okay. However, the points are actually good nick. It's around them that is actually, that has that scum on them there, you see. Inside is actually very, very good. I'm very happy with that. Yeah, they line up well. Insulating washer underneath. Yeah. Actually isn't very much wear in the bearing at all. Lovely. Okay, so we're getting there. We're definitely piling together a few little useful bits and pieces. None of them are seized as yet. So what did we say this one was year wise? 48, 8 of 48, V139. Okay, so Next item is distributor cap. Okay, it's Shishan galore now, it's definitely old. Not very worn in fairness, these all seem to be fairly good, am I right in saying that? Yeah, they seem to be good. We have the all important brass with carbon lead there. Whatever this was stored now, it's full of some sort of a kind of a crumbly, whatever the hell. No matter, that's easy cleaned, and we've plenty of them anyway. Okay, we're not going to be stuck for them, right? There's actually a little collet in that. We're going to keep him. That's a copper one. It's nice to have them. You're making up your own bit of what is that? Huh? Am I after going into some kind of a... That does not look nice. It actually does look nice. It looks like something you'd seen at Cadbury's cream egg, but I don't think I'm going to have a chance tasting it. Yes, I don't know. That's a very strange looking stuff altogether in there. What the hell is that? This was actually painted black, as you can see little bits of black coming off it. It has the remove cap to oil, has the Lucas, so it is Lucas anyway. Jesus, that one's stuck. And they're breaking the one off in the middle. Ah, feckin' hooer. They broke it off. And they obviously drilled a hole there. You can see a hole drilled trying to get it out. It's actually turned. They didn't try too hard to get the fucker out. Now we might be able to salvage this one. There you go. We're back in action, so I'm happy with that. No other breakages on it, is there? That was lucky. Bit of a rub of sandpaper on that now, and we should be back in action. There's one of them stuck though, wasn't there? What is that stuff at all? It's like some sort of funny clay it was down in. Very lucky there now. I could ruin the whole lot now and break this off, so I'll just let that soak for a minute there. This is a nice original cap. It's like it was actually brown, is it? Painted black. Yeah, brown. Painted black. Interesting. Maybe this was just threaded in wrong, this one, was it? It looks a little bit crooked. See if we can get a part number off and see is it the same as the other one. No, can't seem to find a part number. 5 is all I see written out. Anyway, see if we can get this lad off here. Yeah, I'll just get a bit of a grip on him there. Claw. Okay, we can tighten it in anyway to get him to come out. There we go. Okay, so he has his little collet on there as well. That's what you called him, I don't know what you called him. And then a load more of that utter gunk, whatever the hell that is. That does not look nice. What is that? Cod's a jowlish English. Huh? So this is actually now usable with a bit of cleaning. Okay, good. And we have 2 of these lads there. So should be another one there. I think I took 2 out of that one, didn't I? As we keep them, they're parts you do have to buy. There's one on there as well. I'll take him. They can all be cleaned up. He's brass. Oh, Jesus. We don't have any of them. We just have that lovely, what you call it. Anyway, that's brilliant. That's a nice original cap, and I like them because the modern ones have aluminium in there, and it goes white and dusty in no time, and you end up with very bad spark getting to the plug. So I'm just going to wash my hands after that because I'm not 100% sure what it is. And I just clean off the bench there a bit. To recap, we have a 1950 40146, so the later TEA or petrol TVO 20. We have a 1948 one, and we have, between the two, we've got 3 distributor caps. One of them's unuseful. It wasn't. We have it useful. That one could be used. Bar that crack and lump out of it there would be fine. And that one's broken there. But we can use these, and we can use the carbon brush lad there. So we'll go on to the next one now and see what we have. So next part is a broken distributor cap, but we can use the carbon brush. Seems to be some kind of an adapter on this, but this is actually the one for the coil because it's longer, so it's great having a spare one of them. Okay, so we'll put that into the box. And so see, he's a coil one, he's longer, and that's for going into the coil, not into the distributor cap. This one is the Shishin Brishta. It's broken. It will not. That won't work because it's not long enough to make a connection. I heard something falling on the ground. I'd say it was the little brass collar, so I'll find him again. This is some kind of an adapter. Oh, it's from a coil. Yeah, that's meant to go down to a coil. So this actually is a connection for a coil. So your lead will go on there, and that goes into a coil. Never seen one of them before. It's interesting. Must have a look around and see what that might be used for. Interesting now, that is. Normally you only need this. So that's good. This then is another. So we'll keep the brass lad. We need supply them for making HT leads. That's just a little insulator there. It's probably have to be cut off that, I'd say. It's fairly well stuck on it, but that's okay. So the rest of that then is the Lucas original part, but it's for the bin. We'll just pull out the hopefully the spring comes with it. The carbon lad, and I stretched the spring a little bit too much there, so it probably might or might not work again in another distributor cap. Probably would be able to make him work again. We'll try and put him back in and see, is he springy? Yeah, so you'll end up with him sticking out a bit like that. I don't mind that because it makes a great connection on the rotor arm, but you have to make sure it goes the whole way up to make a connection above in there. That's what's important. So what we'll do is we'll pull off the spring. We'll have a few spare ones of them. It's just been in there too long, so that's okay. So we're going to the next part now. Let's see what we got. We got a distributor here without a distributor cap. This has been modified. They put this here rather than down here. The split pin has gone out of it. It's not broken though in the cast, and the hole is on both sides, but they modified it there by attaching a short one on. Really clever. It's coming in as a 40243A. 40243, so it's for a Ferguson. It could work for a Ferguson 35, according to the part number, except it's F, and the year actually is 651, so she's 6-volt originally, and it's a version 160. So the 160 was also used in the Massey Ferguson 35, so that's interesting enough. Let me take off the dust cover here and see. It'll be a little bit fun getting these off when they haven't been off in a while. Might get a proper screwdriver for that and see. We can prise them off. It's usually a bit of a lip in there. There we go. See what we got. So yeah, we have the condenser inside, bolted down in there as it should be. Set of Lucas pints. You can see the Lucas England there. Turning. It is turning. Pints are opening. Pints are not in the greatest condition. There's a lump on one and a hole on the other, so they're well worn. That's okay. All the insulators are there, bar the rubber one that's missing, just to keep the moisture out. It has its casting, has its gripper, has its bolt with the square head. Nice original D3A4 version 160. So the only thing you could do is, because they are after modifying a bit there, they wanted to be fussy. I think I have a spare one of them somewhere. I have a spare. I do have a spare one of them, I think. Definitely left one out somewhere. Yes, good. So I do have a spare one of them. A bit of a split pin in it. You could take that out and put a new split pin in it. Could, if we're lucky, it'll twist out. Or it could break in it, in which case we'd have a little bit more of a hard time. Oh, it's just turning there, yeah. So if we got him out, we could put a new slip pin in and have it looking a little bit more original. But regardless, that's it. We can talk for another day, and we could take this off then, and we could fit our original little clip on there with a new split pin, and we'd be back to original spec. Yeah, so that's cool. So we have condenser in there. Let's get a look and see what make is on it. Made in France. Okay, interesting. It says D, made in France. Part number, okay. So maybe this is from a French engine. We do have grey on it and red rust primer, so yeah. And it is turning. It has C under there, very clear on there. So there we go. So what did I say? 51. So we have a 48, 50 and a 51. But these two are 40146. The other one then was coming in as 40243, which is strange because it's still in the 50s. The part number showing up for tractors that were like 57 and onto 61 maybe too, you know, the Massey. That's interesting. That's just simple. There's one here now, another one. Distributor cap. the wrong lads in it, but it's okay. Brown in colour, slightly broken there, and broken in there as well. The acorn is broken off. That should be able to get that out. It's nearly out. Am I right in saying more so a red engine on this? C as well underneath there. The condenser is earthed onto the plate. The Lucas. Is this one actually riveted? Usually these were actually bolted on. Let's see now what's happening there. So take him off, out of the way. Yeah, so someone definitely was messing with this. You can see they were drilling and all that. Don't know if that would have made the best earth now at all. Would have been burning paint. It'd be interesting to see what condition the paints are in, if it has paint. This isn't seem to be making the tightening up very well. It is a D3A4 in here, that's for sure. 40146D. So another 40146. And the date is 3 of 49, version 159, so 349. You can just barely make it out the 9 there, yeah. So again, 6-volt. Don't know what to say on this about being 6-volt. Made in France, D. So I'm starting to think some of these were French. So I am. Smaller nut on that, so someone was changing things around. Is it smaller than that? Again, it is. So it's 2 sizes smaller. Take all of this off. It's strange, all right. So I'll just go and give this a quick check as well. Interesting to see if they work. They usually do work. Like condensers do go. Sometimes they say when you're changing your pints, you're better off just changing your condenser as well. So it's going all over the places, and maybe it's making a bad connection. That seems to be a bit strange now. Yeah, it's definitely not one I'd be trying to fit, and it's not going to fit in here inside anyways. It should, because again that bracket is just too big to fit in snugly. But regardless, currently the shocks of Busquet. Okay, so there was the little lad I thought I lost there as well. It's no harm having them little lads to go on the end of the wires. I did make up a set of HC leads from my own gold belly there. So there's an anti-slip washer on there. It's nice. I likey them. Nut is in there, I think. So we'll put him on. It's a bit small, alright. It does fit. We'll take a look inside here. Okay. Now we're talking. That looks a little bit more vintagey Lucas to me, doesn't it? Try and get her just to focus there a little bit. I think something strange happened here with the lights in here. There seems to be kind of half the screen is bright and then half the screen is in darkness. So it's saying remove to oil. It is a Lucas, yeah, you can see the Lucas down here. They always have that. Why is it not focusing? Lucas little always have that kind of a circle with the, it's like a steering wheel kind of symbol. 408 355. Okay. So I'm just going to pause this and I'm going to have a look, because I have all of the part numbers for Lucas that were fitted. So I'll come back and see is this the actual right one. That one for even for the gold belly, believe it or not. So 408 355, and that one seems to be in really good condition, not worn, all there. Really happy with that. Not that I'd be probably fitting it, I chance it alright, but just to have it. So the carbon brush is falling out of this one, wouldn't be using it anyway with that chunk over there, and there's still a lump of an acorn in there, but it's great to have the rotor. We'll take off the dust cover and see what we have. We have a set of points anyway that were removed because they're not clicked on down there. Someone was doing a bit of painting. Shouldn't be painting in there. It's not Lucas points in there anyway. No, they're not Lucas points. They're not in bad condition. Perfectly usable with a bit of cleaning. Okay. Someone did originally take out the condenser and left the screw out as well. We have both clips as well, so that's kind of cool. So we will leave that in. There's brass pine screws in there, fairly well shoed up as well by the looks of things. Anyway, so that's okay. We have our dust cover. So that's cool. We're definitely salvages of some parts here. I just want to see is there a rubber insulator on in there, or have we got the same sort of stuff going on. I've yet to see one on any of them yet. My own gold belly has a kind of a rubber lad that comes out around it. So there's a bit of a one left on that there anyway, I think. Yeah. 40146D. Third of 49. So 6-volt electronics back then. Interesting to see if those condenser 12 volt doesn't say on it. It probably was. Converts to around 12, and of course the distributor doesn't mind about that at all. Okay, so a lot of red on this. Both clips intact. C written in under there. There's a turning. It's turning. Lucas. Okay. We'll take a look at this. We have a nice, I might actually end up robbing that from my own gold belly, I think. That's a nice, good condition rubber insulator, great for keeping moisture out. Small little nut, smaller than what's on my own gold belly. Try and prise it open a bit. And to go breaking it in here, you break that very easy now. We have a full complement in here of condensers and pints. Definitely hasn't been open in a while. Okay, there's a fair bit of bloody soldering going on in that lad. He is a lovely Lucas. Lovely Lucas. Geez, that's a solid bloody... That is one solid bracket around that. We've Lucas points. No, they're not Lucas points either. God, it's been a while since this saw the light of day. Bearing feels in good nick anyway. Really good. We've got a strange setup in here. They don't normally have a nut in there. It's usually a square that catches. I'd like to take out this condenser. That's the original, and I'm going to look down and see is that. The original one that was fitted, just out of interest, because I do have a very old one fitted to my own gold belly for the crack, to see if it would work. This is a smaller nut than what's normally on the Ferguson 20s and all of that. for usually 11-30 seconds. Imperial. So we have a bit of a electrical connector used as a washer, a spring washer. And can we push him in a bit, I suppose? That'll be the next question. Let's give him a tap, nice and easy. Without breaking anything. Okay, that's interesting. It does kind of have to go in to take the tension off in there. Or we'll get a spanner. Get a spanner on them and see if we can shift them in there. So that's a 7, so we're talking a 9 or so, or an 8. We'll bring both with us and see what's happening here. We get them to move. I'd love to get that. Condenser out. I'm thinking now that's the one. Can't get a grip on that bio in there. I have to take out the pints. I have to take the pints out, I'd say. You kind of need to loosen this to take the pints out anyway. A bit of a turn on them there. It's very, very tight. Okay. So I see much of them with the actual proper bolt going through them, the square head. I know some of them have the square head on them there. It's probably the only one that doesn't have the square head, but the rest of them definitely had a smaller nut. Some of them had a smaller nut on there, which is something you don't see on the Ferguson 21. So these could have been from God knows what type of engine. As I said, some of the parts have France written on them. Hopefully I didn't widen that a bit. A tap, mind you, I didn't hit it with that metal, I don't think. But it's not the right lad form at all, anyway, that's for sure. Just get him back on, we'll give him a tap in. But we have him loosened there now. Okay, so the next job would be to get this lad out here. He's fairly narrow. Okay. Okay, now we're talking. So I know this is a Lucas one because I have one fitted, some similar one fitted in the gold belly, and it has it stamped along here. I'll give them a quick clean and just see is there any identifying part numbers on them or anything like that. It's a nice bracket on them there anyway, that's nice. These running, sometimes the Lucas were great for dating things. 56 written on them anyway. Lucas, England, D. That is a fair lump of not exactly very nice looking. Normally they're just spot welded unless it came off and they wanted to redo a job on it. Definitely a bit of solder, yeah. Spot weld must have failed on it. So I'm going to have a look again at my parts list there and just see from the original Lucas manual and see if we can make out on that. Seems to be D or B. G 56 is all that's written on it. Yeah, 56. What date is this? We'll have a look and see. There's a tie-in. Could it be the original one? If this is a 56 distributor, yes, we could be looking at the original condenser. And it is 356 40243E. So it's from yeah, it would do a gold belly 40243E. Just before, I think most of the gold bellies were 57, so that's probably why it goes to the F. But E has the later advanced weights in it. So that's cool. So we could take out this wrong bolt here in it, fit the proper one in, and we can make this a bit more compatible. So we'll take him out there anyway. Seems to be threading through something. It's probably just the plastic. Okay, so we got some nice little bits there. This insulating rubber is something I definitely think I could use. Mine's gone very dry and brittle. Take out the washer. This could be a more period correct one from my gold belly now. So there's another, that's what was threading through, another nut in there. And then we have the insulator here. Be careful taking him out now because, oop, he jizzes. Okay. Oh, we managed to keep him. So yeah, definitely could use him on my own one. He's in great nick. No cracks. Brilliant, I'm delighted with that. So we'll throw all these parts in here. We've definitely gained a few little bits there out of this one. So this is probably the most period correct for mine as far as part numbers go. It's got its little screw bolts in still. It's nice. It's coming in as 56. I'd like if it was 57. That'd be more correct. Has its advance and retard plate in there. It needs a good go in the parts washer. There should be marks on that to say, you know, a degree or two. So if you're going starting by hand, sometimes you can retard it one mark and stuff like that. You can take him all off and clean him up. Has its all those nice little studs. They're all the right length. Another little yeah, has another little lad in there as well. So yeah, I'd be happy with that. I'm going to leave it for this part because it's probably over an hour of a video. So we'll continue looking at this 1956 Lucas distributor in the second part, along with the rest of the distributors and the caps and anything else in there, and we'll give them the same treatment. We'll have a look at what date they are, what model they are, and what we can salvage from them. So we'll catch you in the next one. Slog of hole.